Behind the ancient walls of one of Britain's most historic palaces, a secret ceremony took place that the world almost missed entirely, and what happened inside those hallowed halls reveals a fascinating shift in how modern royals are choosing to navigate the delicate balance between duty and privacy in an age where every royal moment is scrutinized under the most intense spotlight imaginable. Princess Beatrice, the elder daughter of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, made a decision that speaks volumes about the changing face of the British monarchy, and today we're diving deep into every detail of little Sienna's incredibly private christening at St. James's Palace, exploring what this intimate gathering tells us about the future of royal traditions and why this moment matters far more than you might initially think. The christening of Sienna Elizabeth Mapelli Mozzi, Princess Beatrice's daughter with her husband Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi, was conducted with such discretion and careful planning that it stood in stark contrast to the grand royal christenings we've become accustomed to seeing splashed across newspapers and television screens worldwide. While previous generations of royals have often used christenings as public relations opportunities, complete with official photographs released to the media and crowds of well-wishers gathered outside church doors, Beatrice chose an entirely different path for her daughter's special day. St. James's Palace, with its rich history dating back to the Tudor period and its position as one of the oldest royal residences in London, provided the perfect backdrop for this deeply personal family celebration that prioritized intimacy over spectacle. What makes this decision particularly intriguing is the location itself, because St. James's Palace holds tremendous significance in British royal history and has been the setting for countless pivotal moments in the monarchy's long story. The Chapel Royal within St. James's Palace has witnessed royal weddings, christenings, and lying-in-state ceremonies for centuries, its walls echoing with the prayers and celebrations of generations of British monarchs. By choosing this venue, Princess Beatrice connected her daughter to a profound lineage while simultaneously asserting her right to celebrate this milestone away from the glare of public attention. The palace, which currently serves as the official residence of Princess Anne and Princess Beatrice herself, offered not just historical gravitas but also the practical advantage of privacy and security that allowed the family to focus entirely on the spiritual significance of the occasion. The guest list for Sienna's christening reportedly remained exceptionally small, limited to close family members and a select few friends who have been part of Beatrice and Edoardo's inner circle throughout their relationship and marriage. This intimate gathering likely included Princess Eugenie, Beatrice's beloved younger sister with whom she shares an incredibly close bond, along with Sarah Ferguson, the proud grandmother who has remained a constant presence in her daughters' lives despite the various controversies that have surrounded the York family over the years. The absence of widespread media coverage and official photographs suggests that Beatrice was determined to keep this moment as private as possible, perhaps learning from the intense scrutiny that other royal family members have faced when their children's milestones became public events dissected by commentators and royal watchers around the globe. This approach to royal parenting represents something of a generational shift within the monarchy, as younger royals increasingly seek to carve out spaces of normalcy and privacy for their children even while acknowledging their unique positions within one of the world's most famous families. Princess Beatrice, who does not carry out official royal duties and maintains her own career outside the royal sphere, occupies an interesting position within the family structure that allows her more freedom to make personal decisions about how she raises her daughter. Unlike working royals whose children are directly in line to the throne and whose public appearances are considered part of their official responsibilities, Beatrice has the luxury of choosing which aspects of royal life she wishes to embrace publicly and which she prefers to keep private. The christening ceremony itself would have followed the traditional Church of England format, with readings from scripture, prayers for the child's spiritual journey, and the symbolic act of baptism representing Sienna's entry into the Christian faith. The Chapel Royal's intimate setting would have created an atmosphere of reverence and warmth, far removed from the formal grandeur of Westminster Abbey or St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle where more prominent royal christenings typically take place. The service likely included godparents carefully chosen by Beatrice and Edoardo to serve as spiritual guides for their daughter throughout her life, though the identities of these individuals have been kept confidential, in keeping with the family's desire for privacy surrounding this event. What's particularly fascinating about this secret christening is how it reflects broader conversations happening within royal circles about the appropriate balance between public service and personal privacy, especially when it comes to protecting children who were born into extraordinary circumstances through no choice of their own. The intense media attention focused on royal children has been a source of tension for decades, with parents naturally wanting to shield their offspring from overwhelming scrutiny while also acknowledging public interest in the continuation of the royal line. Princess Beatrice's decision to keep Sienna's christening completely private suggests a firm boundary being drawn around what aspects of her daughter's life will be shared with the public and what will remain sacred family territory. The timing of the christening also raises interesting questions about how it might have been coordinated with other royal events and family schedules, particularly given the various commitments and international travel that often characterize the calendars of senior royals. St. James's Palace's location in central London would have made it relatively accessible for family members to attend without drawing the attention that a trip to a more remote location might have generated. The palace's status as a working royal residence also means that comings and goings are routine enough that a small family gathering could be conducted without raising suspicions or alerting royal correspondents to the significance of the occasion. This preference for privacy extends beyond just the christening ceremony itself and reflects Princess Beatrice's overall approach to parenting in the public eye, as she has consistently chosen to share very limited information and photographs of her daughter with the media and public. While some royals maintain active social media presences that offer glimpses into their family lives, Beatrice has remained remarkably circumspect, releasing only carefully curated images on special occasions and maintaining firm control over her daughter's public image. This strategy allows Sienna to grow up with a degree of normalcy that would be impossible if every milestone were documented and discussed in newspapers and on television programs dedicated to royal watching. The contrast between Beatrice's approach and the more public christenings of other royal children, such as Prince William and Catherine's children or even some historical royal baptisms that became major state occasions, highlights the diversity of experiences within the extended royal family. While direct heirs to the throne naturally attract more attention and their parents may feel obligated to share certain moments with the nation, those further from the line of succession have greater flexibility to define their own relationships with public life. Princess Beatrice, as the king's niece, can make choices that prioritize her family's well-being over public expectations in ways that might not be available to those with more prominent positions in the succession. The secret nature of the christening also speaks to the trust and respect that exists within the royal family regarding personal boundaries, as it would have required cooperation from all attendees to maintain confidentiality about the event. In an era of instant communication and social media where a single photograph can circle the globe in seconds, keeping a gathering of this nature completely private represents a remarkable achievement that suggests strong family loyalty and shared values regarding what should be kept within the family circle. The fact that details only emerged after the ceremony had concluded demonstrates that those present understood and honored Beatrice's wishes for privacy. Looking forward, this christening may well set a precedent for how Princess Beatrice continues to navigate her daughter's upbringing, establishing clear boundaries between public and private life that will help Sienna develop her own identity separate from the intense interest that surrounds the British royal family. As Sienna grows older, her parents will face ongoing decisions about education, public appearances, and the extent to which their daughter will participate in royal life, and the choices made around her christening suggest a philosophy that prioritizes normalcy and protection over publicity and tradition. This approach may inspire other royal family members who are seeking ways to give their children more conventional childhoods while still acknowledging their unique heritage and the responsibilities that may come with it. The selection of St. James's Palace itself carries symbolic weight that shouldn't be overlooked, as the venue choice reflects both respect for royal tradition and a desire for privacy that larger, more public venues wouldn't have provided. The Chapel Royal's intimate scale and historical significance created the perfect environment for a ceremony that honored centuries of royal custom while adapting that tradition to meet the needs of a 21st-century family navigating unprecedented challenges around privacy and media attention. By holding the christening there rather than at a more prominent church or cathedral, Beatrice signaled that this was fundamentally a family occasion rather than a public spectacle. So here we have a story that reveals something profound about the evolution of royal life in contemporary Britain, where ancient traditions are being carefully adapted to accommodate modern values around privacy, childhood, and family autonomy. Princess Beatrice's secret christening for her daughter Sienna at St. James's Palace demonstrates that it's possible to honor royal heritage while simultaneously protecting vulnerable family members from overwhelming public scrutiny. The intimate ceremony behind palace walls allowed a young child to be welcomed into the Christian faith surrounded only by those who love her most, free from cameras, commentary, and the weight of public expectation that can make even joyous occasions feel like performances rather than genuine celebrations. This brings us to a question that deserves your thoughtful consideration, so tell me in the comments below, do you believe royal family members like Princess Beatrice have the right to keep significant family moments like christenings completely private, or does their position within such a historically important institution create an obligation to share these milestones with the public who ultimately support the monarchy?